Picture this. You spend years building your TFSA, watching it grow tax-free, or so you think. Then you learn the U.S. has been quietly taking 15% of every dividend from American stocks inside your TFSA. And here's the worst part. While you're losing that 15%, it helps fund services you'll never directly use as a Canadian. No foreign tax credit, no refunds, gone forever. If you're holding U.S. dividend payers in your TFSA today, a slice of every distribution is going to the IRS before it even hits your account. If you've got $100,000 in U.S. dividend stocks at a 3% yield, that's $3,000 in dividends a year. At 15% withholding, you lose $450 every year, $4,500 over a decade before compounding. Let those dollars grow at 7%, and the future value of what you forfeited is about $6,200, roughly a full year of TFSA room for many Canadians. Your TFSA is tax-free in Canada. The CRA won't tax your gains, dividends, or withdrawals. The U.S. sees it differently. The treaty recognizes RRSPs and RRIFs as retirement accounts, so U.S. dividends inside an RRSP are generally 0% withholding. TFSAs aren't recognized. If Microsoft pays $1, you see 85 cents in a TFSA and a full dollar in an RRSP. No way to claim that back. Strategy number 1, move U.S. dividend payers to your RRSP. This is the single biggest win. Shift names like Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and J.P. Morgan from TFSA to RRSP, and you instantly stop the 15% skim. Example, $10,000 yielding 3% pays $300 in dividends. In a TFSA, you lose $45 per year. In an RRSP, you keep the full $300. Over 10 years, that's $450 saved, plus compounding you no longer miss. Yes, you'll pay tax when withdrawing the RRSP later, but you've allowed the full amount to grow instead of losing 15% every single year. Strategy number 2, prefer Canadian-listed ETFs in a TFSA for simplicity and currency savings. Swapping VOO or SCHD, which are U.S.-listed for VFV, XUU, or ZSP, which are Canadian-listed, doesn't remove the 15% inside a TFSA. The withholding drag is similar. You do it to avoid foreign exchange conversions, simplify record-keeping, and stay fully in Canadian dollars. For dividend-heavy U.S. exposure, the RRSP remains the right home. If this is helping you keep more of your money, hit like and comment yes or no. Do you hold U.S. dividend stocks inside your TFSA? I'll share the results in a future breakdown. Strategy number 3, make your TFSA the capital gains engine. The IRS withholds on dividends, not on capital gains for Canadian residents. So your TFSA shines with growth names, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, where most of the return is price appreciation, not income. Sarah, a subscriber, moved $30,000 of U.S. dividend stocks from her TFSA to her RRSP last November. Dividend yield, 3%. She immediately stopped losing about $135 a year to U.S. withholding, and that $135 now compounds every single year going forward. One small move, permanent upgrade. Strategy number 4. If you already hold income stocks in your TFSA, turn on DRIP. You'll still lose 15%, but reinvesting the remaining 85% accelerates compounding. $850 reinvested at 7% for 10 years grows to around $1,670, while leaving it idle stays at $850. If you add that every year for a decade, $850 per year compounds to about $11,700. In an RRSP, it would reach about $13,800. That $2,000-plus gap is the silent cost of withholding. Strategy number 5, avoid double-layer ETFs for foreign exposure inside a TFSA. Some Canadian ETFs hold USI-listed ETFs to reach international markets, creating another layer of withholding. Choose funds that hold the stocks directly, or keep that allocation in a taxable account where foreign tax credits can offset the loss. For U.S. stocks specifically in a TFSA, structure differences matter little. Account location and currency cost make the bigger impact. Quick reminder, subscribe to Maple Money Data. We unpack Canadian investing and tax tactics every weekday. Strategy number 6. Use Norbert's Gambit to slash foreign exchange costs. Brokerages often charge 1.5 to 3% on conversions between Canadian and U.S. dollars. On $20,000, that's $300 to $600 lost instantly. Using DLR and DLR. You with a journal request converts near spot, typically at 1/10 to 0.3%, maybe $20 to $60 total. Do this when funding U.S. positions and you keep hundreds that would otherwise vanish in spread fees. Strategy number 7. Master tax location across RRSP, TFSA, and taxable accounts. Place each asset where it's treated best. RRSP. U.S. dividend payers and ETFs. Treaty equals roughly 0% withholding. TFSA, growth-tilted U.S. and Canadian equities plus Canadian dividends. Taxable, international holdings where foreign tax credits apply. Proper location adds about 1 to 2% per year in after-tax returns. On $200,000 over 20 years, that's an extra $80,000 to $160,000 simply by placement, not by picking different stocks. Here's the recap. Move U.S. dividend payers to your RRSP. Use Canadian-listed ETFs in your TFSA for currency simplicity. Make the TFSA your capital gains engine. Turn on DRIP if you keep dividend names there. Avoid double-layer ETFs for foreign markets. Convert currency through Norbert's Gambit. And structure every account using smart tax location. Don't let another dividend payment slip away to the IRS. Audit your TFSA this week, identify every U.S. dividend payer or USA-listed ETF, move income assets to your RRSP, and set up DRIPs where needed. Make the changes now and you'll thank yourself in 10 years. See you in the next breakdown.